Okay, let's see how you did on the conversions. Let's do them. 38.0 inches to centimeters given 2.54 centimeters is equal to an inch. Start with what you're given, 38.0 inches. I'm going to do these fairly quickly. And then times, use the conversion factor, 1 inch. And I like to write the denominator so that I know I'm canceling my units here first. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Type in on your calculator 38.0 times 2.54. You get 96.5 centimeters. 96.52, but we round to 96.5. More on significant figures later. 80.5 minutes to seconds. So I'm going to assume that you all knew the conversion factor, right? That minutes and seconds, and then I say how many minutes in a second, or vice versa, and I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So it's 80.5 times 60, and that's 4830 seconds. Okay, 15.4 milliliters times, and then I put milliliters in the denominator, liters in the numerator. Which is bigger, milliliters or liters? Well, liters. 1. How many milliliters in a liter? 1,000. 15.4 times 1 divided by 1,000 is 0.0154. Don't forget the units, liters. Last one, 16.8 microliters to milliliters. Okay, so a couple of ways you could do this. If I put microliters in the denominator and milliliters in the numerator, then I need to know how many milliliters in a microliter. You may have difficulty even using that chart saying, well, there's 1,000 microliters in 1 milliliter. That's kind of tough. But for some people, that's obvious. For others, that's not so obvious. So let me show you what I do when it's not so obvious. It's 0.0168 milliliters. Okay, here's what I usually do. I say, okay, well, you don't know how many, because the issue is this. This is something that's not obvious, even if you have the chart. If your math intuitive reasoning is not outstanding, you know, you can still get this problem because I can convert from any unit to the base unit. So let's go to the base unit first and make this a two-step conversion. So I might not know how many microliters are in a milliliter, but I do know how many microliters are in a liter. Okay, go back to your chart here. Okay, I mean here. Okay, I know that there are 1,000,000 microliters in a base, in a liter. So I'm going to use that conversion factor form a problem, and that's going to make it easier. So which is bigger, a microliter or a liter? A liter, 1. How many microliters in a liter? 1,000,000, or 10 to the 6th. Okay, now if I convert and hit 16.8 times 1 divided by 10 to the 6th, it will be, my answer will be in liters. I don't need to stop there. I can just go one more step and go from liters. See, now I'm putting liters in the denominator, and the unit I'm trying to go to, milliliters. And then I say, well, which is bigger, milliliters or liters? Liters is bigger than a milliliter. How many milliliters in a liter? 1,000, or 10 to the 3. So then what do I hit on my calculator to do this? I hit 16.8 times 1, 16.8 times 1, divided by 10 to the 6th times 1,000 divided by 1. Okay? That's what I'm typing in. Okay? And I will get the same answer as above, 0.0168 milliliters. And so what you've done is say, go to the base unit rather than go from a prefix here to a different prefix directly. Okay, I know how many are in each base unit. So that's a conversion factor. That's a different conversion factor. Okay, you might do the same thing in, if I was, say, going from centuries to seconds. Okay, so let's say I wanted to know how many seconds are in a century. Okay, so that means I'm basically converting a century, 1 century, into seconds. Okay, and now I need my conversion factors. Do I know how many conversion factors, how many seconds are in a century directly? No. So I know that I'm going to put century on the bottom, and I'm going to put whatever I know on the top. I do know how many years there are in a century. 1 century is 100 years. Okay. Do I know how many seconds there are in a year? So I got to get rid of years. So I'm going to put them in the denominator. Do I know how many seconds there are in a year? No, but I do know how many days. There's 1 year is 365 days. Okay, and then I'm gonna shrink this little thing down here. And let me shrink it down because I'm running out of space here. Okay. Yes. All right. So I know there's 365 days in a year. Now I got to get rid of days. Do I know how many seconds there are in a day? Not well. I do, but you probably don't. So, but you definitely know how many hours are in a day. Okay, there's 24 hours in a day. Do you know how many seconds there are in an hour? Not 60 seconds in an hour. I know a lot of you are thinking 60 seconds in an hour. It's 60 minutes in an hour, right? Students always make that mistake. And then you got minutes, got to go cancel with seconds, and you got 60 seconds in 1 minute. And so if I want to know how many seconds there are in 1 century, I do 1 times 100 times, or divided by 1 or times 365. You don't have to hit the divided by 1 bit. You get times 24 times 60 times 60, and I get, I'm typing this in as we're speaking. I'm getting 3.15, times 10 to the 9 seconds. It's a lot of seconds. 3.15 times 10 to the 9 seconds. So you can see that here, every time each unit cancels out the previous unit, all of those are conversion factors, right? 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. 24 hours is equal to a day. 365 days is equal to a year. 100 years is equal to a century. So 1 century is equal to 3.15 times 10 to the 9 seconds.